We're going to be talking about the word birth. So we're going to talk about it spelled Berth and Birth. And of course, we're focusing on the registration of birth. We're talking about the legal sense. On the legal side, of course, there is a birth. On the reality or the spiritual side, there is a birth. On the legal side, when we're talking about birth, they're talking about again, where they said print name of child in full, they're dealing with the name of that child as a birth or a ship. So when we're looking at the terminology, we'll use terms like place of birth, birthmark, okay, and we'll go into those in a second. But the word birth is unique because the birth, in a sense, when we're talking about a womb on a natural level, there's a birth coming out of the mother's womb and the birth canal. But in the situation of the legal, there's like a port and a shipping where this birth is. And so the printing press uniquely is called a matrix, which was used in the King James Bible to translate the word womb. It was used out of the Hebrew, so it was matrix in the Old Testament or the Hebrew scriptures. So it's a womb. So the printing press is the womb that births out the birth certificate. It does not birth out this. Only a part of that document is birthed in the patent laws, the legal patent laws, and that's only the legal surname for the purposes of Caesar, the public side. What they're going to publicly recognize, legally recognize, and commercially recognize. So they rate that. The natural birth, completely different. The mother's womb and the birth canal, of course, and then out comes the real child out of that. So we're going to go to the definition, so you'll get a little bit more of a clear understanding. So we're going to go to birth, and of course it says bear right off the top. If you go to, it says also a position. This is Berth again. It's a position, place, office, job. So isn't that interesting? It goes right into the secular when we're talking about the terminology. Though they write birth on here, that's really what's going on. It's the beginning of them naming the vessel that's going to be docked in their port. And so therefore, this is the birth they're talking about. And when we look at the word position, place, office, job, that all relates to the surname. Okay, so it's a rank or a title for that public side to work in the legal. Now we go to birth in Birth. Again, it uses the root word bear again. And of course, it's basically the act or fact of coming into life or of being born, nativity, origin. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, the 1828 Noah Webster's defines Christian name as the original name. So in English law, whether people want to, believe this or not, you received one Christian name and one basically surname or family name legal on that side for that purposes. And therefore, if you were going to engage in commerce, that name that they birthed to represent a ship or a vessel for commerce was there for the purpose of the public Caesar side of the trafficking. And even though we know that many people have engaged in, I just say the majority of them in induced labor to join and to cross the line between private and public, and not just leave the public title on its own. Therefore, there'd be no debt, it would be on its own. And therefore, you would not be in the position you are right now, because I know there's a lot of people sending me very, very concerning emails that they're concerned, they want to jump ship right now, but they're not really maybe comprehending totally what they're fully looking to do. And there is a remedy and a way on this, but it has to be done properly, and there would be involving notice. So we push play in a movie, and uniquely when you see a DVD go into the slot on the screen, it'll underline play, and surely enough, that's the play name, the play debtor name, if you wanted to play debtor. So if you feel that you've been deceived, unfortunately, we may have been induced in it and imprinted from the beginning, but again, it's our responsibility to get out of the blame game and actually start to realize how this operates, and how do you remain not in an interference with the legal state authorities. But as long as you're in there interfering, they have authority to do what they're already doing out there in this crazy chaos right now, because of your own consent to interfere with that title. That title on its own is just a title on its own for public use. It is not to be used privately. So we're doing our best to, on these videos, to try to bring this to a simple comprehension. And I am still getting some emails from people, and I would just say, if I don't answer your emails after the first one that I answer kindly, if I get nasty or ridiculous emails that are based on people that didn't watch the videos properly, claiming that that I'm off base on certain terminologies like surety and things like that, they haven't listened well, and they haven't researched well. And please leave me short messages, not elongated write-ups on your viewpoint, because the problem with that is if it's completely inaccurate, it's the timing on the amount of emails and the timing to put the proper videos up. So I'm not going to get into debates on the internet. So if you don't get a response, I'm ignoring you. It's because I'm not going to end up using that as a tool to get into a debate. If you don't like what you're hearing, you certainly just turn the channel off. Don't start sending me nasty messages. So I hope that makes it clear, and I'm trying my best to help those that are sincere and looking for help. So please continue watching the videos. We have a few more that we're going to put up between today and tomorrow, and there won't be that many, but there'll probably be about roughly another 3 or 4. But be patient, because you need to, in order to digest what we're about to embark on.